Hey everyone, it's Monday's weather for Weather Geeks. Before we get to the very active and remarkable weather pattern we're in, I had someone bring to my attention a little rant I went on, or just a comment on a Weather Geeks video last week that they found a little uh, offensive, and I certainly didn't intend it that way. I was talking about this storm that's on the radar right now, and how I believe the phrase I used was it's kind of amateur hour when it comes to some of the stuff I was seeing out there on the internet. Uh, and by no means did I mean that as a rip on amateur meteorologists, weather enthusiasts, weather hobbyists, those who have some really nice Facebook pages out there. That was not a rip on those people. It was more of a comment on a lot of the irresponsible stuff you see 5 to 7 or 8 days ahead of a storm or a potential storm, where people are posting snowfall maps and look at all this snow that's coming, and it's obvious they don't really know how to interpret the data correctly. And then TV meteorologists such as myself or National Weather Service meteorologists have to spend a lot of time and energy kind of debunking some of that stuff, and it'd be nice if we didn't have to spend as much time as we do debunking some of the kind of ridiculous stuff that gets out there, especially in the winter. I did want to point out a few really good Facebook weather pages that are mostly amateur meteorologists, weather hobbyists, enthusiasts. I recommend Ohio Weather. There's Don in the picture right there. Great guy, and a very good Facebook page there. The Great Lakes Storm Center. Follower and viewer Amanda down in Salem is part of this, and they have some really good stuff on their page. And last but not least, Neo Weather, which is a pretty big outfit in northern Ohio, and they have a footprint in central and southern Ohio as well. They put out some really great stuff. As you can see, they've got 5,600 likes, so they've got a lot of likes, and they put out really good videos, good products. There's Brian Ivy right there, really great guy, and definitely a reliable source of weather information out there. And these are just a few. There's all sorts of great ones, but unfortunately, there's a lot of bad ones too. There's a lot of high school students, and I love when high school students are interested in the weather. I think it's great that they have an enthusiasm for science, but they don't have the proper training just yet to make really good forecasts, but a lot of people don't understand the difference. And so they see this unbelievable forecast 7 days out and think that that's going to happen, or they start asking me about it. And it's a little frustrating for us sometimes. But again, love all you weather enthusiasts, hobbyists. You're the reason why I do these videos, a big part of it, big reason anyway, because I have such a respect for those out there in the weather community who aren't degreed meteorologists. There's a lot of you out there, and bless you all. I'm really glad you're aboard. All right, enough with that. Let's move on to what happened this morning. If you just turned 21 and live in Youngstown and you've lived here your whole life, have a beer today because you're old enough, and you have never seen this type of cold in your lifetime across eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. We reached 13 below this morning in Youngstown. I'm going to show you the list of coldest temperatures on record in Youngstown in just a second, but it has been since 1994, January of 94, 21 years ago, since we've had this kind of cold. We came close last year, but this morning was even colder. Look at these readings in parts of north central PA. There's a 24 below. Mercer County, I saw several reports of mid-20s below zero. Ashtabula, 23 below zero this morning. Erie, 17 below. All-time records were broken in some spots this morning. And again, officially at the Youngstown Warren Airport, we did hit 13 below this morning. Here's the list of coldest temperatures on record at the YNG Airport. 13 below will get tucked in right here in 10th place. Again, it's been since 1994 since we've been this cold, and that was actually the record-breaking outbreak back in 94, where we set our all-time record on January 19th, 1994, of 22 below zero. Since that record-breaking morning, we have not been as cold as we were this morning. So it was a remarkable morning. Our forecast for Saturday worked out great. Most of us had about 4 inches or so worth of snow. It was tough to measure with all the wind. It was just remarkably harsh out there Saturday into Saturday night with those squalls, whiteouts. Now we are keeping an eye on what's going on down to the south. And a lot of these places to the south of the Ohio River have actually been in kind of a snow drought and a winter weather drought this winter. And they're getting theirs now. Big snowstorm today, Kentucky, West Virginia, parts of the Tennessee Valley, and then it's going to be a big ice event for parts of northern Georgia, North Carolina, the upstate of South Carolina, parts of Virginia, southern Virginia especially. And then this will be a pretty decent snowstorm up towards D.C. and Baltimore, places such as that. We are on the northern fringes here. It is, of course, cold here this afternoon. 3 degrees at 1:55 in the afternoon here in Youngstown. We're going to stay in the single digits today. The wind chill, thankfully, not much of a factor because the winds are generally calm. That's what's going on now. Let's head into the future. Now, this system is going to just scrape us, just barely. It's a close call, but it's just barely going to get up here. So as I bring up the latest high-resolution rapid refresh, or HER, model, I'm going to fast forward to this evening. Let's go to 5 p.m. as a lot of people are getting off work. Although some people are off today because it is a federal holiday. A lot of schools not in session today. A lot of schools who planned on being in the session today for a makeup day had to cancel this morning because of the cold and the wind chills. All right, 6 o'clock this evening. Leading edge of this snow just barely getting up into our viewing area. Southern Columbiana County here at 6 o'clock, over towards Beaver County, PA. Pittsburgh's getting a little snow at 6 o'clock this evening. Go forward a couple of hours to 7 p.m., I should say. And now it's getting closer to 2:24, and it's going to snow lightly, perhaps even moderately, the farther south you are, down towards East Liverpool, Salineville, Calcutta, over towards Beaver Falls, PA. It's going to be a decent little snow event for this evening. It's going to slicken up the roads. But this is just going to scrape up into Mahoning County, parts of Lawrence County. As I go forward then to 9 p.m., you'll see that this continues to kind of just edge off to the north, but it's only going to get so far. So I think the leading edge, gets up to about Youngstown, about Mercer Grove City. Might try to get up to Cortland if you see a touch of snow up there. That should be about it. And then this is going to continue to move away as we head through the overnight then. So by tomorrow morning, as you get up to go to work and school, let's look at the simulated radar tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And you'll see this is long gone. It's a problem for the East Coast, but not for us here in the Mahoning and Shenango Valleys. This is our snow map that we've had out since last night, and I don't see much reason to change it. We might be a little bit too far north with the coating to an inch, and maybe a little too far north with the 1 to 2. That 1 to 2 zone might be more like this, but we're splitting hairs here. Enough to slicken up the roads in spots around Route 30 and south, and heading over towards the southern part of Lawrence County. But coating half-inch, maybe an inch. Boardman, Poland, Youngstown, Mercer, Sharpsville, Sharon, etc., etc. So a little nuisance event for this evening. It'll pull away overnight. No problems for travel tomorrow. So let's talk about the rest of the week. Tomorrow, again, uneventful day. This is tomorrow afternoon. A couple of flurries around, but our next Arctic front is approaching. This is going to come through on Wednesday. This is another doozy of a front. I'll tell you, the air mass behind this might be just as cold as the one we had last night and this morning. But we're going to see flurries and snow showers and maybe a ground whitening squall here and there Wednesday. Someone might get a couple of inches out of these snow showers and squalls Wednesday into Wednesday night. And then as we go towards the end of the week, wind and cold becomes our story again. Sure, there's going to be some flurries and snow showers Thursday, but the temperature and the wind chill becomes a big story. This video is already getting a little long, so let's try to breeze through this as quickly as we can with the wind chills. I think there's going to be a lot of 2-hour delays for the schools this week. Tomorrow morning, perhaps down in Columbiana County, especially with the snow down towards East Liverpool. But by Wednesday morning, as the wind starts to pick up, these are the wind chills. Apologize if the numbers are a little hard to read, but there's a -10 to -14 in there for some schools. That'll be enough for a 2-hour delay. Thursday morning, look at these numbers. I mean, close to -20 for the wind chill in some spots. Thursday morning. Friday morning's probably the worst of it because the actual temperature will probably be well below zero, and then the wind chill, -25, could be very similar to yesterday morning. Sunday morning we had wind chills around -25. Friday morning could be similar to that. The actual temperatures on Friday could be similar to today. We might start out at 10 to 15 below for the temperature Friday morning, and then the daytime high is not much better than 0 or 3 or something like that. So really remarkable pattern we're in, and there's no relief in the foreseeable future. This is the 7 to 14 day outlook, carrying us from the 23rd through the 2nd of March, way below average. This is going to end at some point, it has to, but it's here through the end of February. We're going to see the occasional decent day sprinkled in where it gets to 30 or maybe even 35, but that'll be, kind of an oasis. This is a sea of serious cold through the end of February, and I suspect this is going to go down as the coldest or one of the coldest Februarys on record here in Youngstown. We're already at a departure from average of -9, almost -10 for the month, and we're going to keep adding to those departures. So it's going to be very busy through the end of February. Thank you for watching this Monday Weather for Weather Geeks. I will see you tonight on the news, 21 News at 6 and 11.